Tell him, Brew. Tell him what time it is. You don't even know what time it is, do you? Do you have any idea what time it is? It's story time on BioS 3 Training here on YouTube on Raw TV. So me and Brew were just sitting here hanging out. And what we were discussing was, have you ever noticed how most of the pros are bros? Has it ever occurred to you that there hasn't really been a pro bodybuilder in the IFBB, other than Mike Mentzer, who really understood the laws of adaptation and went deep into the adaptation science, that really followed that whole science-based training? Like, even if you look at the greats like Arnold had no scientific basis whatsoever for his training. None. He went by feel. Everything was instinct. Everything was bro-related. And he would say stuff like, well, when I get into the gym, I feel like this, and I really believe this. It was never, I have complete science to back up what I'm saying. It was always, well, I feel this. I do this because I get a good contraction, etc., etc., etc. Now, you had Dorian Yates, who kind of applied those laws of adaptation from Mentzer's, who had an idea of how it worked. But even Dorian himself said he had, could have done things a little bit differently. Following his instincts, Dorian pushed so much that he tore body parts, which he had wished that he listened to his body a little bit more and backed off on the training rather than pushing 100% all the time, which is what caused the injury. So based on the theory of the scientific evidence, you should be able to continue to adapt and increase your strength as long as you're slowly increasing the weights and slowly increasing the intensity without having those body parts thrown, but his body couldn't handle it. So therefore, how do you know when your body can't handle it? You have to listen to it. There's no scientific formula that's going to tell you when your body's going to break down, right? Ronnie Coleman, the same thing. Ronnie listened to his body, trained every body part twice a week, which I'm sure if you, really delved into his training, Ronnie was just more of a balls to the wall training guy rather than thinking too much about how to set stuff up and sitting there and counting sets and counting reps and stuff for volume. He went in there and trained. Branch Warren and those guys trained like animals, absolute animals. And again, I'm doubting that they sit there and go, well, this exercise over this one will stimulate. No, they go in there and tear the gym up. And Cutler had his double split. His was, he'd do like 25 sets in the morning and come back to the gym at night and do 25 sets at night and do his cardio twice a day. And nobody was really doing that out there. And, he did 10 to 12 reps, which a lot of people were like, well, you're never going to build the mass on 10 to 12 reps. Obviously, he built the mass with 10 to 12 reps because he became gigantic compared to everybody else and fast, which genetics play into that, all that stuff, but that's the whole key. If you listen to these scientific formulas, they're very generalized per formula. So they're saying this is what you do to get this. Well, Jay, Ronnie, Dorian, Arnold, all of them did different things, and all of them became, and Dorian, sorry, I don't mean to leave Dorian out, but all of them became the best in the world by doing different things, by listening to their body. Listening to your body is not really science. That's an art form, okay? Like, you have to understand what your body's saying, how to interpret it, and then how to change things to get the results you want. Whereas a scientific formula will be spelled out on a piece of paper, and that's how it is. It doesn't change. It doesn't go up or down. That's what you follow. That's what's supposed to work. End of story, period. So it's a narrow-minded way of thinking that will keep you from getting to your ultimate goals. Where Jay, Arnold, Dorian, Ronnie, Branch, all these guys don't have that narrow-minded way of thinking. They are always trying something new and different, even if it doesn't make sense. I remember Jay was using Pilates and a couple other things to try to gain flexibility one year because he was leaving no stone unturned to re-win the Olympia again. And it worked, So, let's stop and think a second for how many of these scientific formulas have produced great champions. Because technically, if the scientific formula was better and it worked so great on natural people, then that means it would work even better on the people that were taking drugs. So why is it the people that are taking the drugs and becoming the best in the world don't stop and say, well, I'm going to do the scientific way because it works so great natural and my way is haphazard. I'm just trying things here and there. Well, the scientific way, because it doesn't work. They've already tried those things. When you first start out training, you try that stuff because you don't know your body. You don't know how to experiment. You don't know that you're a bro. So you try different things that you base on books and stuff that you find are based on studies. And when they stop working or don't work, you find another way, and that's why these people became great champions. They learned from the jump. There's not one way formula to get this done, and the body doesn't really care what a science book or a textbook says. So just a little insight that the pros are bros. It's not a bad thing to be a bro. So those of you that are out there that are, still mad about the bros versus the science community, or I don't even know what you guys have labeled yourselves, the scientific community, whatever, but it's good to be a bro. It's cool to be a bro. It's fun to be a bro. You're not stuck up, stuffy assholes like those scientific community guys. And you're going to get the results, so don't worry about it. BioStreetTraining@gmail.com. The blog is www.biostreettraining.com. And Bruno is asleep again. He's tired. And we're out.